Denise.
And I'm Georgie.
And we're the Happy Vegan Couple. All right. I know I'm like a broken record. You turn on our video and I say what we're going to make and it's so good, but it's true. We have the greatest recipe that we found. What are we going to have, Georgie?
I think it's called corn soup.
Caribbean corn soup was the original, and it's made with yellow split peas and assorted vegetables. So I found this recipe at the website for One Meal a Day for the Planet. Now, you might have heard of that organization. Oprah Winfrey teamed up with Susie Cameron. She's also the wife of the Hollywood producer-director James Cameron, who just made the Game Changers movie. He produced it. If you haven't seen that movie yet, watch it. It's on Netflix, and anybody you know who's into sports and athleticism, this is the best movie for them. You see these great athletes who have all gone plant-based. Okay, but I'm deviating. So, this is actually a pretty good thing. If you are still pretty much eating an animal-based processed food diet, this concept of 1 meal a day plant-based is a good way to begin. When I teach people about transitioning from a standard American diet to more plant-based, this is one of the 2 strategies I suggest. You can go all at once, which is what Georgie did, and it's always great to use the pcrm.org website because they have a kickstart for 3 weeks of free recipes being sent to you. So if you want to do it right away, go to them. But if you want to do it slower, this is a good program. 1 plant-based meal a day. So, decide which meal you want. Then do that for a couple weeks until you're comfortable. Then go to the next meal. And by some time in the future, you'll have been putting in so many more healthful plant foods into your body and crowding out some of those foods that really don't give you health. Yeah, you may crave them. They may fill you up, but they're not giving you health, like all the phytochemicals and the antioxidants and the fiber, right, with whole plant foods. So just one thing about this dish before we get to Georgie making it, it is so great. There is no oil. There is no added sugar. We have 1 can of coconut milk, but when you see how big this soup is, how much food there is, that little bit of saturated fat that you're getting in the coconut milk is going to be okay. Because the American Heart Association says that we can have about 11 to 13 grams of saturated fat a day. And when you're eating a whole food plant-based diet, most of our foods hardly have any saturated fat. So a little coconut milk and a delicious soup of all these other whole foods and spices and all that fiber and phytonutrients, oh my gosh, this is truly a great recipe. We found it recently, we made it, and I was just like, I have to have it again. So we're going to get to the video, and we'll see you later.
She's excited.
Yes, it's so good. Please try it, and let us know how you like it. Okay.
Okay, everyone, let's get started on my Caribbean corn soup. First of all, I'm going to tell you all the ingredients that I have in it. First of all is a butternut squash, unpeeled, and I'm going to show you how to do all these things. Yellow onion, celery, garlic, red bell pepper, carrots, fresh corn on the cob, ginger, yellow split peas, salt, pepper, thyme, and turmeric. And I'm adding green beans to it, and vegetable broth, coconut milk. So from there, let's go ahead and get started. First thing I'm going to do is peel this butternut squash. Yes. It's hard. So I'm going to show you a couple ways to do this. First thing I'm going to do, Denise, if you want to come in a little bit more, I'm going to cut this end off with a bread knife. Okay? That's going to make it be able to cut a little bit easier through. Next, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try, I have 3 different little potato peelers here. This one, you can hold this way and just go. Okay? This one, you just take it and you just pull down.
That looks a little easier.
A little easier.
Does it feel easier?
Yes. The next one goes over your finger, and I just go.
And of course, you could just go to the store and buy it already cubed if you like. But if you'd like to get a little hand exercise, and I'm sure it's a little cheaper to buy it without cut.
I like this one because it just goes over my finger, and all I got to do is go over the top of the butternut squash like that, as you can see. Oops, it came off.
This soup is going to be so good. I can't wait to smell it cooking.
Okay, we'll finish off with this one, a couple little pieces.
And look at all that great color in there. That's your antioxidants screaming at us, eat us, eat us. We'll take out your cancer cells.
Okay, nice and peeled. The other way, I just wanted to show you real quick. You can just take your knife and go over the edge of it, like that.
You might lose a little bit more, but...
Right.
I wonder what the vote would be. Buy it chopped up, or I'm willing to do this.
I'm sure it'd be chopped up already. Then we'll cut the end of it off. Peeled. A little bit more.
But you know,
then we take a spoon. Some of the squashes that I found don't have as many seeds as there is here. However, just take and scrape that out.
It smells good.
And get all the seeds out, all the tough stuff that's in there. See how it's cleaned out?
Mm-hmm.
Same with this one. And the bottom, with the butternut squash, most of the seeds are down here in this big bulb part. You'll see that there's nothing up in here.
So this is really eating the whole food way, right?
Right.
We take a butternut squash just as it was harvested, and we open it up to cook. And we've got wonderful fiber and nutrients in there.
You see? There's no seeds. This is all squash.
Uh-huh.
So that's why the butternut squash is a good squash, because you don't have a lot of loss as far as the squash that you're making. Let me throw this away.
Well, you know, and the cool thing is, you know, this is really the only intense part of this dish if you decide to do it with a fresh squash.
Right.
Everything else is going to be a real quick chop.
So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to chop it up.
I'm just making some chunks to throw into the
Right. Everything doesn't have to be perfectly the same size. It can be different. Just to make it easier for you when you're doing the chopping and stuff. Don't worry about the size on this dish, because it'll all come out really just about the perfect.
Well, let me ask you about that, Georgie. Did you want the squash to completely kind of soften up and dissolve, or did you want it to hold with some texture?
No, I want to hold it with some texture. So because you have different size squashes, you're gonna have some that's gonna be chunky, some that's gonna be a little bit more cooked.
Uh-huh.
A lot of things that you don't really have to have different sizes. Okay, there's most of our squash. Did I get a hold of this?
All right.
Okay, one more.
Almost done. And of course, winter squash is considered a complex carbohydrate, which is one of the great things about eating plant-based.
Squash already put in. Okay, next we're going to go to our onion. Onion, cut the ends off first. We're going to dice this.
And we're going to show you, because maybe you're a new cook.
Right.
Looking at our video for the first time, I'm on the onion, Georgie.
Okay, I cut the ends off. I put a slice down the first part of the onion. Don't go too deep because you'll lose too much. Pull off the first layer. Your onion's clean. I cut it down the middle. I'm going to dice this. So here's how I do it. Okay, then I'll start at this end. Oh, little cheater there. Voila, diced onions.
A lot quicker than the butternut squash. See, just as we said, the rest of this dish now is gonna be a snap.
Okay, there's our onions. You got me crying here. Okay, next is going to be our celery. I'm going to slice it down the middle. Now I've taken everything and washed everything. Everything's ready just to be cut. Let me go wash my hands for a second.
And of course, you know, probably most everything on this counter is organic.
Yes.
And maybe I don't know about the corn. You might not have been able to get.
No, everything's organic.
Oh, is it?
It's non-GMO.
Okay, yeah, non-GMO, but.
Okay. With my celery, what I do is I'll put it in different positions just to get a different cut. You see how I kind of got a long different cut there? Then you can go this way and just do a basic cut. But I like this because it makes it look nicer.
So either way you want to do it is fine.
Either way is fine.
Have fun, be creative, make cooking fun.
Okay, bell pepper. I cut the top off, straight on down. Look, it popped right off. Then I reach in and I grab the internal part and just twist, and it comes out.
So simple.
Along the ribs, you can see the ribs, this is the white. Just like that.
And I'm sure that little white stuff in the inside is some good fiber.
Sure, I'm going to use it. So, next I'm going to do is I'm going to dice this up.
Georgie has very good knife skills. Very safe and efficient.
Remember, always keep your fingers like that so you don't chop your fingers. You want to keep your nails. Your nails are your protector.
All right.
I'm sitting here crying from the onions still.
We're hoping to have a family come here in another couple of weeks. A family who wants to become 100% plant-based. They attended one of our classes and they reached out to us and they're going to come over with 3 of their kids.
Okay, garlic. This is a garlic bulb. This is a garlic clove. Okay, I'm going to put like 4 of these. Got a couple small ones here. When they come off of that bulb, they have a little bit of skin on them. You just squeeze it and it'll pop right off. Sometimes.
And garlic is so healthy.
Yes.
I think Dr. Michael Greger from nutritionfacts.org recently did a video about garlic being helpful for a cold.
It's got a skin like an onion. Just make sure that's off. You can see it's clean now. Now I use a cheese grater and I use the smallest side of it. Just going to go up and down on that. Never cut my fingers before. Sometimes it might be really sharp, but I've never had a problem with this.
So that's one way to do it. Or of course you could use the knife.
Right, you can just chop it up. It takes a little bit longer. It's slippery little something. Okay, and I have a flat knife instead of a curved knife. You can see the difference in the curves. I use a flat knife because I can get everything that I want that I've chopped into the bowl. Next.
Okay, I think we're going to pause for one quick second, Georgie.
Okay. Okay, everyone, let's get back to this. That was some strong onions. Anyway, next going to use 2 carrots. I cleaned them, washed them. I'm just going to make coins out of them. Coins meaning just down the circle.
And we don't peel them.
That's a coin. I don't peel them because it's better for you.
And they're organic.
They're organic.
Nutrients are in the skin.
Now, if you feel that your rings are getting too big, cut it in half. Make half rings. Or another way, if you like, cut that in half, cut that in half, put them at an angle, and you have a different shape. Shapes are good. See, 2 different little shapes. Anyway, I like to switch it up.
Georgie having fun.
Okay, there's my carrots. Next thing is going to be ginger. Ginger, I'm going to use the same side as I did with the garlic on my cheese grater. Cheese grater. So I've already trimmed off the excess. I'm not peeling it because it's organic. Some of it dries off at the ends. I've cut that off. You can see it calls for a couple inches of, so I got a little bit more. Anyway, just take it and you don't want to go this way too much. You want to go this way.
Oh, really?
Because it's just...
So more on the longer side.
Right, because it's just going to come out better.
Oh.
There's one part.
Hey, you do that so fast. Look at all that ginger.
Smell
Yum.
that? Okay, there's my ginger. Okay, next we're going to go to the corn. I have 2 smaller corn ears that I'm going to shave the corn cob off of. So I'm just going to go in. You can see where the corn cob is itself, just to the left of the side, and go straight down. Fresh cut corn. Or you could be frozen.
You mean already kernels cut up?
Right.
Yeah, right. You can, make it easy for you if that's going to be the ticket to make a wonderful, healthy dish. Use those frozen vegetables and fruits. You know, they can be a time saver.
And they say frozen food is just as healthy.
Oh, sure, because they freeze it right after harvest, which is a great thing because the nutrients aren't lost. Of course, that is why we eat, to get our nutrients, to power us, to...
So that's a little bit over a cup of corn.
Uh-huh.
So the other part is I'm going to take some of the whole corn and I'm going to slice it in like 1-inch pieces. If you want to watch this.
So that's to kind of make it pretty when we serve it.
See how it comes out?
We're going to have a nice wheel.
I'm going to throw these whole pieces in the corn, or in the soup, I'm sorry.
It really did look pretty in the soup.
Okay, just 1 inch thick. You can even go 2 inches if you want. It just depends on how many people you want to serve. I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 11 servings that I could put one of those corn cobs in it to make it look pretty. Next is going to be my green beans. I've already washed these off. Organic green beans. First thing I'm going to do is I want to cut all of the ends off. Because those can be, you know, it's just this is stick part. Same with the other side.
All right.
Now, you can do regular cut like that. Okay. Or you can kind of do a French cut, which is more of this way. See the difference in the cuts? I don't know if you can tell or not, but you can do either way.
If I had taken French in high school instead of Spanish, I'd be throwing out some phrases right now.
Okay, there's my green beans.
In Spanish, I could say muy bonita.
Okay, there's all my ingredients. I went through them and I showed you how to chop them whatever way you'd like. If you want to look, Denise, this is the butternut squash, the celery, the onions, the garlic, red bell peppers, the 2 different types of corn texture, 2 different things of carrots, your garlic, the yellow split peas, the green beans, the thyme, turmeric, salt, pepper, coconut milk, and the vegetable broth. So let's take a break. We'll come back and I'll throw this in the Instant Pot and we'll get it going.
Okay, sounds great.
Okay, everyone, here's the next step. I push saute on my Instant Pot. It took approximately 4 minutes to get hot. Okay, I'm going to put a couple tablespoons of vegetable broth in the Instant Pot with my onions, garlic, red bell peppers, celery. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be sauteing this. You can see that it's all nice and pretty. Look at all that. This is approximately going to take 5 to 6 minutes to make them sauteed nice and crisp, soft and everything. So let's come back in a couple minutes. I'll show you what it looks like and then we'll go to the next step for this dish.
Okay, we're going to pause then.
Okay. Okay, everyone, it's been cooking for 5 minutes. You can see my bell peppers, my celery, my onions are nice and soft now. You can actually go longer if you want, but this is plenty for this soup. So next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna add our split peas. I'm gonna go over here real quick and rinse them.
Okay, I'm going to pause for a moment.
Okay, I've rinsed my split peas. Gonna put them in the pot. The reason I wait till when they're ready to go in to rinse them because they will stick together really quick. Mix that up a little bit. Add 2 cups of my vegetable broth. Stir it up. Get everything off the sides. That's kind of like what it looks like now. Okay, I'm going to put our lid on. Make sure that the steaming vent is closed. I use bean and chili, and I'm going to set it for 8 minutes.
So we're only cooking, we're cooking the split peas now.
The split peas right now.
Oh, okay, I was waiting about all the other veggies.
The next step will be all of this, and we'll do a 5-minute cook. So we'll come back in probably 10 minutes and it'll be ready for the next step.
Okay, so let's just go through that again. So you're setting it at what?
8 minutes.
Okay.
8 minutes, high pressure. I just pushed the bean and chili.
Okay, so it's going to build up to pressure and then it's going to cook for 8 minutes.
Right.
And then at that point you will do a manual release?
Right.
Okay,
and then I will add the rest of the ingredients. One thing with the Instant Pot, it takes 5 to 10 minutes sometimes just to build up pressure. because it's got to get everything hot and solid and going. So 8 to 10 minutes, we'll be ready.
Okay.
Okay, everyone. The second part has been cooking for 8 minutes. It's down to 1. Now I'm going to do a manual release, which is I put a rag over the steam button like that and turn it to the front. It's going to take a couple minutes for all the steam to release. Going to shut this off. We'll come back in a couple minutes when the steam is released. Okay, everyone, I just want to say that the steam is released. The little silver button is down. That means that it's okay for me to release the lid. Okay? Now, what we're going to do here now, we're going to add everything else that we have here.
Here, let's just take a look at what it looks like after it was cooking with the split peas.
Split peas are cooked. Everything is nice and tender.
All right.
Okay, next thing I'm going to do, butternut squash. Corn. Carrots. Ginger. Green beans. All my seasonings. My thyme. My turmeric. Salt and pepper. I'm using 1 teaspoon of each. The rest of my vegetable broth from Trader Joe's, which is 2 more cups.
And we do buy the low sodium.
Low sodium, yes. Then I'm going to finish up opening my can of coconut milk. No cuts, no sharp edges.
All right, let's
Gonna
see what
mix
that
this
all
up a
looks
little
like.
bit.
Oh my goodness, look at all that. Woo! Now, I just want to say to people who might be concerned about saturated fat in coconut milk, that can of coconut milk says it has 5 servings. And every serving of the coconut milk is, in terms of saturated fat, let me look at that again.
Okay,
Just a second, Georgie.
sure.
Let's see if I can see
55.
that. Okay, 11 grams of saturated fat per serving. And the American Heart Association says that's about as much as you should have a day. But that's only for 5 servings. And you just saw what was in there. So you're not getting a lot of saturated fat in this dish. So enjoy it.
Okay, I'm closing the lid, closing my venting. I'm going to set my bean and chili for 5 minutes. It started. We'll come back in 5 minutes. I'll do a manual release again, and it'll be all done and ready to eat.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, and once we have that, once it cooks up to pressure and cooks for 5 minutes, then you said you're gonna do a manual release, right?
Manual release,
right.
yes.
Now,
Yeah, I don't want it to cook any longer than the 5 minutes. If it sits in there for 5 or 10 more minutes, everything will be too soft, and you want things chunky and some texture.
Okay, and we should just say, when we were cooking the split peas, we ended up having it cook 1 extra minute after the pressure was done because we didn't get to it.
Right.
So
Right. What happens on the Instant Pot, it'll cook for the 8 minutes that I set, and then it'll start counting down. The 1 was the 1 minute after the cooking. So it actually went 9 minutes, but
yeah, okay.
It won't hurt it anymore.
Right, because that part didn't have all the veggies.
Right, it won't hurt it at all.
All right, so we'll be back soon.
Okay. Okay, everyone, it's cooked down to the time. We're going to cancel it. We're going to open up our vent safely with a towel on top. We'll come back in a minute or 2 and open it up. Okay, everyone, steam's released. Time to open the lid. Stir this up a little bit.
Let's see what that looks like in the pot.
Can you see it?
Ooh,
Look at that.
that's a lot of soup. Isn't that great? And you could freeze some of this, have it for the week, then freeze it for the next time you want something that's already made. How's it smell?
Just gonna put a little bit of cilantro on it, and we can show you what it looks like.
Wow, and it's fun with those little corn wheels in there too.
Yeah, because
right?
at the end of your soup, you eat your corn.
Yeah,
when it's cooled off.
That's really nice. You gonna give it a taste, Georgie?
Well, let's give it a little taste.
It is pretty hot. Don't burn yourself.
A little bit of carrot, a little bit of stuff. And you can see all the seasoning still in there.
Let's see.
The thyme, see it right there? Look at that. Mm-hmm.
Now, if we had fresh thyme in our garden, we might have put that in, but we don't. But if you do, you could use fresh.
That's enough for a week for Denise and I. So, I mean, just think about it. That is just a gorgeous dish to serve to somebody. It's just wonderful. And it tastes great. So, I hope you enjoy it.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed watching Georgie create this wonderful soup. Doesn't it look beautiful?
Yep.
All those colors and those whole vegetables. And we gave you a lot of instruction. Now, you know, if you've been watching our videos for a while, you might be a little bored watching Georgie cut an onion. But why do we do this? Because we're always hoping that new people are finding our channel and you're wanting to cook whole food plant-based, and you may just never have been a cook in your family before. So that's why Georgie's taking the time to show you how to cut things. You know, and in this one you had to do that little butternut squash. It's a good practice to do that, and of course if you want to do it the easy way, you can make them cut up, right?
It'll keep you in shape just cutting that up.
Yeah, anyway, so we just want to remind you, we'd love it if you would please subscribe to the Happy Vegan Couple YouTube channel. Hit the bell so you'll get notified when we put out a new video. Tell your friends and family about us. You know, let's grow the Happy Vegan Couple channel because we love having you out there.
I have to retaste this, as you can see.
Look how beautiful that is.
Look at that. Mm-hmm.
Yum, yum, yum. So just to remind you, the recipe will be at the end of this video. It will also be in the description of the video on the YouTube channel. We hope that many of you will make this, and please tell us how you liked it. We hope you'll love it as much as us.
Yes.
That's it?
Yes, that's it.
Until next time,
I hope you enjoy it.
I'm Denise.
And I'm Georgie.
And we're the Happy Vegan Couple. Go plant-based.